Hello everyone. I'm making this video because I realized that my last two videos are very long and feel that's unnecessary in order to learn all this information. The other two videos are good if you feel you need me to go more in depth into the material. Otherwise, I'm gonna speed through the information. This is just covering what was taught in lessons 1 and 2. So this is only if you want to hurry it up if you want the pace to be faster. So anyways, let's get started. So in order to name organic compounds, the very first thing you'd pretty much do is count the number of carbons. Once as you've counted the number of carbons, you use this list in order to determine the name. So let's get started. So say we had this one over here and we wanted to name it. We just count how many carbons there are. We count one carbon. We check the list. Oh, one carbon. Its name must be methane. All we did was count the number of carbons. So let's do it again. So count the carbons. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 carbons. It's butane. Alright, so what do we do when an organic compound has branches in it, such as this one right here? What you have to do first is to find the longest path in the organic compound. This could be called the trunk. So it looks like there are multiple paths that we can take in order to get as many carbons as possible. For example, there's this path, there's this path, and both paths will result in the same correct answer. So let's just use the red one. 1, 2, 3. 3 carbons, it's propane. And in order to name this branch, you first just find what carbon it's coming off of. It looks like it's coming off carbon number 2. So it's going to be, and you have to know that if you have, I'll write it up here, if you have a CH3 branch, that's called methyl. That's just something you have to memorize along with this list up here. For example, if you have CH2, CH3 branching off, that's called ethyl. It's just stuff you have to memorize. Sorry about that. So anyway, so it's propane because the longest path has 3 carbons in it, and if you've memorized this list, you check that, oh, 3 carbons must be propane. Now let's include the branch into it. So since we know this is called methyl, and we include the number of carbons come off of, which is right here, number 2, it's called 2-methyl, and then you can put the name right there, propane. So take note that there's always a hyphen between the number and words, and between numbers it's going to be commas, so 2, 3, 4, methyl, blah 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 blah. Alrighty, so here I just rewrote that you want to find the longest chain, and this is very important, in order that will give the branch the smallest number. So what does that mean? So let's do this next problem. So let's first find the longest branch. So is this longest branch? No, because that only has 3 carbons, and it looks like there's a path that can give us 4 carbons. So this is the proper path because it's the longest. You can also go in reverse from right to left, but you're going to see that only determining whether to go from left to right to left, or right to left, depends on the branches, if there are any. So let's count the carbons based off the blue path from left to right. So its name is, well, there are 4 carbons, that's butane. We know it's butane just because we counted 4 carbons in the longest path, and that means it's butane. Remember, you can always pause this video and rewind. And then, so now we have to name this methyl group. It's coming off the number 3 carbon, so it is 3-methyl. don't forget the hyphen. So let's just combine them. So the name is 3-methyl-butane. And so as you saw, there was another path we could have taken, which is marked in the yellow greenish line where we went from right to left. So let's number it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what would this be called? Well, the branch is coming off, in this case, the number 2 carbon. We count from right to left. So its name is 2-methyl-butane. So both of these names are this name for the same compound, but according to conventions, you're gonna give the name in which the branch has the smallest number. In this case, 2 is smaller than 3, so this would be the wrong name. This would be the correct name, only because we're giving the branch a smaller number, assigned a smaller number. So when you're counting, you want to make sure you count in the way that your branch will have the smaller number. So if you counted from left to right, it would have given you this incorrect answer. If you counted from right to left, it will give you this correct answer. Let's do another. So first thing we do is find the longest path. Looks like there are several. You can go from here, you can go from here, and you can also go in reverse order, like from right to left. And it looks like in this case, if you go from left to right or right to left, it will give you the same name, because if you do it, you'll just see that that's the way it will work out, because both will result in 2,3-methyl. It will be obvious if you work it out, so let's number them. 1, 2. We're doing with the black path. If you use the blue one, it will give you the same answer. So it looks like the longest path contains 4 carbons. Let's go back to the list. 4 carbons is butane. If this is too fast, my other videos are much slower and I go in more detail. So 4 carbons is butane. Now let's include the branches, which are right here and right here. So it looks like they come off the number 2 and the number 3 carbons. So how do we include both of them? As I wrote up here, you put commas between numbers, and in order to assign all the branches, you just put all the numbers, so 2, 3, because we have a branch off the number 2 and a branch off the number 3, hyphen. If you have 2 of the same branch, in this case, we have 2 methyl group branches, you call it dimethyl, signifying that both of these branches are methyl groups. Let's see what else. Alright, and then we include the butane. So the name of this compound is 2,3-dimethylbutane. So I'll do it in reverse. I want to make this fast, but let's just do it in reverse so you guys can see that it would result in the same answer. So here I counted the black path in reverse. As you see, we still have a branch off the number 2 carbon, a branch off the number 3 carbon, so it would still be 2,3-dimethylbutane. Hopefully you understood that. If not, just leave a comment and I'll help explain it for you. Alright, so this is the last one I'm going to do. So let's find the longest path. Here it's pretty obvious, so we come all the way down here. But one thing that I had tried to trick you in this problem is you might look at this over here and think it might be a methyl group, but in fact it's just part of the long path. And yeah, so when you're drawing your path, the only rule is you can't go in reverse. So say as I had gone here, I'll put the incorrect thing to do in red. I can't go backwards, include this carbon, then come back, include that carbon. You can only keep going in a forward direction. So if it looks like we were able to include this. So say that we here I'll draw it in blue. Say we had this here in blue, then this would be a branch, because we would continue the black path coming down here, and then we wouldn't be able to go in reverse to come back and get this carbon over here. Alright, so it got messy. Let me see if I can just clean it up. Oh, never mind. We're not going to clean it up. Alright, so work with me here. Let's count them. Remember, the original path is in black. Alrighty, so we have 8 carbons. Let's look at the list that needs to be memorized. Later, I'm not going to have this list, so hopefully you guys make some flashcards. Maybe write 8 carbon atoms, and on the back you write down, oh, it's octane. Good way to memorize facts. Let's see. Alright, so 8 carbons. This is octane. Now let's include the branches. We have a branch coming off here. We have a branch coming off here. It was much more clear when it didn't have all these scribbles on top of it. Anyways, those are our only branches. Remember, this thing was originally part of the main trunk. Forget this blue stuff. That's just to explain something. Alright, so what carbons is it coming off? It's coming off the number 2 carbon and number 3 carbon. So 2, 3. So remember, comma between numbers, hyphen between words. Do you remember what we do to signify that both branches are methyls? Dimethyl. Then include the trunk, octane. So this compound was called 2,3-dimethyl octane. Alright, so let me know if you have any questions. I made this video because my last one was like 40 minutes, and I feel that most of you don't have the attention span for 40 minutes, and yeah, just let me know what I can do to make it more helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, let me know. Memorize this list. I'm not going to keep having it here to check back on. So, yeah. Thanks for watching.